Subaru is one of the all-time great brands when it comes to practical cars, and this is one of them, the Forester. And it's kind of a big deal because here for 2025, a completely revamped Subaru Forester. Well, not completely. I'll explain. Get in. This is Family Wheels. Older ones tended to look a little too upright, and that wasn't because they were, but the front end was quite ungenerous, the styling of the grille and so forth. Here, that's all been fixed. I say this as a compliment. The front end of this vehicle kind of looks like a Ford Explorer. It succeeds. It's more upright, gives a bolder statement without being in your face too much. Down the sides, again, things have been kind of leveled out, if you will, and we have the chunky over the wheels accents, which is common among so many vehicles today. I think Subaru has done it just right, and same with the back end. I really like the imprinted word Forester across the back rather than letters stuck on. It's a nice touch. Subaru says that the chassis of the redesigned Forester is 10% stiffer. Okay, I'll take them at their word. However, the vehicle is quieter and has a smoother ride. In fact, it's probably got one of the best smoothest rides of any compact SUV that I have driven. And congratulations to Subaru for further taming the sound from the boxer engine, the flat 4, because they can get pretty noisy. The only time I've encountered any roughness in the sound of the engine is in the first minute or so of startup. One thing that really hasn't changed in the Forester is the 2.5-liter 4-cylinder opposed piston engine. In other words, the Boxer 4. You get 180 horsepower out of it. And that is not exactly earth-shattering, but it is within the range of most of its competitors. They don't have a turbo, so you're not going to get 250 out of it. There's plenty of pep in this vehicle. Again, especially for what your typical compact SUV buyer, especially a Subaru buyer, wants. Lots of pep. There is no hybrid. The good news is that a hybrid will be coming next year, and because the Toyota owns 20% of Subaru, you can be guaranteed that it will be Toyota hybrid technology. Well, let's take the Forester around a fairly tight, narrow bend. So it's not a WRX. It is reasonably sure-footed though, and throughout, that nice, comfortable ride. Let's check the brakes on the Forester. Very well controlled, well modulated pedal, total confidence. The 2025 Subaru Forester comes in 5 trims in Canada and the United States, and you can really pull the content back to keep the price down if that's your objective. Now here we have the top trim. That's often the case with review vehicles, and it's got everything. Really nice leather upholstery that is heated and ventilated, and here we've got Alcantara inserts as well. There's wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto and a wireless charging pad, 2 seat memories, the full package. However, all trims come with an excellent feature, and that is what Subaru calls the EyeSight system. There's quite a large collection of 4 devices, cameras and such, that help you get down the road safely. And what it boils down to is all trims come with adaptive cruise control and automatic emergency braking and other features that are in the ADAS category. I'm particularly enamored of adaptive cruise control with stop and go. Really helps out in those tight traffic situations out on the highway, traffic jams and so forth, or just a sudden backup on the freeway. By the way, it's the bigger screen on all but the bottom trim, which has 2 smaller screens. This is more than 11 inches here. You have to take your eyes off the road too much to simply adjust the fan. A hard button would be nice. If you're going to have soft buttons, they should be more spread out. Similarly with the seat heat, the seat ventilation, the AC, and so on. It's all a bit too tight together, and I did not really get used to adjusting the fan by having to reach down here and look where the buttons are every time. Also, we have the brake hold here, and you have to turn it on every time. A lot of vehicles have brake hold memory. Fortunately, you at least have hard buttons for temperature increase or decrease, as well as the front and rear defrosters, and of course the radio volume and tuning. The tiles in the center all do seem to make sense, as does the home button. The Forester passes our Family Wheels child seat test. That's where we put one behind me that takes up the most space, rear facing. Up front, well, I'm 5 feet 11 inches tall, 180 centimeters, and there's a decent amount of space between my knees and the glove box door. As far as niceties go, well, this is the top spec, and so the passenger side does get an 8-way adjustable seat. Now, when it comes to accommodating adults in the back of the Forester, as they say, acres of free parking. The driver's seat ahead of me is adjusted for me. Here in the back, I've got lots of knee room. By the way, lots of room underneath the seat as well. You know, some cars, you slide your feet there and it kind of squishes them in. Not here. As far as niceties go in the back at this top spec, we have heated rear seats and 2 USB ports in addition to the usual HVAC outlets. Across the line, however, the second row of seats is adjustable for rake. You do it manually with this little strap back here. Well, that's our look at the impressive 2025 Subaru Forester. I think there are enough changes to keep the Subaru faithful happy and maybe attract some buyers from other brands too. But what do you think? Leave a comment. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, and thanks for subscribing. I'm Richard Detman, and I'll see you next time on Family Wheels.